Okay, in this lecture we are going to cover about the JavaScript array. So if you talk about the JavaScript array, means to say in any language, array is the fundamental thing that let us store different data in a list. So we want to create a list, then we have to go for array. For example, I'm going to create a folder, but the date today 13th of October 2025, and I'll open this and right click here and then click on this open with code. So I am going to create a folder file here, but the file name is I'm going to create pro1.html, and font size is little bit, I think so, very small. So I think so I need to increase this size as well. So what I'm going to do, I use control plus. Okay, now just come here and shift 1 enter. So to start the script we have to use script element, and we need to understand about the array. Array means we want to store multiple values. Multiple values means to say, for example, we have data, single marks. Okay, marks equals to 100. We can use let keyword and we can store the value of marks. But if you need to store 50 marks data, will you create the variables like this for every marks? No. At this time, what we can do, we can use loops. For example, I want to store the 5 students date marks, then what can I do? I can use like first marks, second marks, third, fourth, and fifth. So we have these marks stored in an array, and to create an array we always use square brackets. One more thing that you make sure always keep in mind, when you need to work with the JavaScript JSON, means to say JavaScript object notation, then it is very useful. If you know the arrays, then only you can do many things with the help of this square bracket. So to understand about this, what actually internally is going on, I will first of all I will use the data and then I will try to create a graphical representation. So I want to display the value 98. What can I do? I can use clg console.log or otherwise console.log, and inside this what can I do? I can write like marks, and inside this I can use indexing. I said 0, means to say at 0th index what is the value we can use to print this value. So control shift L, go live. Sorry, alt shift alt L, not shift L, alt L. Now I'm in the browser screen and we have to press F12. When we press F12 we have 98 is available. When I again F5, then you can see we have 98 date value is the available. So if I need to access the last element, then I can use console.log, or I just duplicate it and I said fourth, because in array in JavaScript starts from 0. So this is the 0th element, means that this element is stored at the index number 0. This element stored at the index number 2. This element stored at the index number 3. This element stored at the index number 4. This element stored in the index number 5. Correct? No, because this element stored at the index number 4. I was checking, are you aware or not? So this is the 0th index, 1 index, 2 index, 3 index, and 4th index. So we have, these are the 4 indexes are available. So I'll just come here, control s alt control L, then I run this code, control s alt L O, then I run this code and again press F12. We have 50, 98 and 57 is available. It means we can access the element by using the index. So to understand about the array, how array works, we have to create, not MS Info, window or MS Paint. We have to create like this. We have a array, and we have like first value, second value, third value, and fourth value. We have other like many values. So I can give the name. What name I can give? I can give marks, because we have marks. and this marks is pointing to this array, and every element is represented by the index. We have 0th index, we have first index, we have second index, and we have third index. What it means? It means that we have value 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So every element has some index. In Java or any other language, indexing will always start from 0. Most of the languages follow this pattern. Index always starts from 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. And when we want to calculate the length of this array, what is the length of the array? 4 element. So what is the length of this array? 5 element. I can use document console.log write line, or otherwise I can use document.write. And I said length. Marks is the array name dot length. You can see length has cuboid symbol, but last index of has cube symbol. When this cube symbol shows, it means that this is a function. I will also attach the function topic in this as well. So this is a function, and this is also a function. But we if talk about the length, this is a property. Now you can also read there property, but when I come here, you can read here method. Okay, method is also known as functions. When a function inside a class, that is a method. So means to say marks dot length. When I use marks dot length, then I will get the output as 5. We have 5 as the output. Understand? Is there any problem? No. Means to say we have 5 elements are there, and we can calculate the size of this marks by using the marks dot length. And I want to run a loop on this so that I can get every element. So that's why I'll just I'm just commenting this line, and I am going to create a loop let let I equals to 0. Why I initialize it 0? Because I know, or we know, that in array indexing starts from 0. So 0, and then I less than equals to what the size of the array? Marks dot length. And what value I will get? I will get the 5, but we don't need to reach I up to marks dot length. That's why I will use less than. Instead of less than equals to, we will use less than. At the end of this, we can initially increment it by 1. Now we have for loop that is available, and I want to create h1 element, or just like h2 element, and add those element in the body area. So how can I do this? For example, I have has box. Okay, I have a box with the id box, and I want to create an object of that box. So document dot get element by id. What's the id of that element? Box. So then we get the element like const box element. Okay, we have box element. What I want to do, I want to create a loop, and create an element for every create an html element for every element of array. So I'm going to create like what I want to create. I want to create marks value. I want to get the marks value to display over there, and I want to use h2. So document dot create element, document dot create element, and what element name is h2. So this line of code will create a new element, and I will say const element h2 element. Okay, after creating this element, I want to insert the value from marks. So h2 element dot inner html or inner text, I said what I want to display the value marks, and then I use I. Whatever the value of I, if it is 0, then it will access the 0th element, and if it is 1, it will access the first element, and then that element will be stored inside this h2 element. Now what next? We have to attach inside the box element dot append child. What child I want to add? h2 element. I want to add h2 element, and then this loop will end. So every time this will loop, and this loop will execute 5 times for every element, and every element h2 element will be created and appended in the HTML box. At the end we will set okay, no issue at all, because we have box element is available, everything will be available. Control S to save, go live. Now control S to save, go live. Now you can see we have h2 elements data is available. How? With the help of this loop. And if you talk about the, when you press F12, so no, and we come at the source element, we can say source. We have the instead of using the source, just we can do right click and again right click inspect, and we will click on the elements. In the elements you can see h2 element, h2, 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 h2 element are created and placed inside the box element. Why these elements are attached like this? Because we have used append child for the box element. So we have used like append child. This line of code makes this code to set over there. Understand about it? Okay. So we have understand about the little bit idea about the array, how arrays can be accessed, and how arrays element help us to create or generate some data. So I'm going to create a select element as I already told you in last class. Okay. So we'll do this in next. Okay. Thank you so much. मिलते हैं next lecture में. Bye bye.